intended to leave the cue ball nearer to the ball cushion than that with his break-off shot.
One.
A really good start, because he didn't play it just to get back to bulk. He actually played on the blue, and the angle he has on it could take him into reds if he chose to take that option. Might be more difficult to control the cue ball by not going into them than doing so.
Foul.
Wow, can you believe that? He knocked a red in this afternoon.
Stuart Bingham 1,
playing
Ronnie
that shot.
6.
What happens sometimes, say fortune favours the brave, but that didn't apply to the shot you've just seen.
One.
Nice touch once again, as ever, from O'Sullivan. Would have been easy to drift past the black snooker behind the red, but he's not done that.
Eight. Nine. Sixteen. 17. 24. 25.
'Touch of left-hand side on that shot, screwing back, which is actually reverse side, which takes the cue ball up the
32.
table just a fraction further than usual. Changing his mind on the shot all the way, isn't he, here?
33.
Thought about going at the top of the ball, then lower down, with the same swing.
Delicate screw off a thinnish edge of the black.
40.
Yes, his cannon plays is absolutely tremendous. It's been impeccable all week.
$41.
The bottom red will pot. Be taking an interest in the one at the bottom of the bunch, and you'd want to be fairly low down the table on it, because they don't pot from everywhere. Once again, beautiful touch, absolutely perfectly played.
45. 46.
Certainly going to open up the bunch here. I suspect the right-hand red, as we look, is the one that wants to get contact. Well, he didn't play it as well as ever, but he's still on one.
53.
Bingham was unlucky to knock the pink in, opening the bunch.
54. $59.
That's where he wants to take, the one next to the pink, but be careful where the cue ball finishes. He goes into the other red. He has to work out exactly where it will finish up. Realises that red colour is enough. Beautiful
60.
shot. Absolutely delightfully played.
Well, his judgment of positional cannons is superb.
67.
And it's just sheer class. Someone who's
68.
played the game and realised quite how difficult those shots can be. Comes naturally to O'Sullivan.
$75.
The master of all phases of the game that ran the pink and black
76.
and developing the bunch. He's an artist.
$81.
Only 7 minutes into the
82.
session, and all of a sudden we're back to square one, really, 5-all.
$89.
Only just over 7 minutes play in this opening frame, the evening session.
90.
Well, great attempt
93.
to develop the red.
On the frame.
He doesn't make the century, but 93 does the job. O'Sullivan levels at 5-all.
Welcome back to Coventry for the Champion of Champions tournament. It's O'Sullivan against Bingham, and they're all level after 10 frames. In the 11th, O'Sullivan attempted to edge ahead with an early break. Bingham also had his chances, but a foul stopped him short. O'Sullivan again failed to make the most of his opportunity, and Bingham is back at the table.
O'Sullivan's safety not quite good enough on that occasion. It was still a good pot.
Important moment this for Bingham. Having not really played much of a part in the evening session yet, in a frame and a half. Now he's got this chance. He's on both reds, on his closest to and the one below it.
Nine. $15. $16. $22. 23.
Well, the angle he's got here takes him towards the bottom 3 reds. Wouldn't be a very easy cannon. Well, he's played that nicely. Developed one and landed on the other.
30. $31.
They'll need all 4 of the remaining reds to clinch the frame from here. Of course,
38.
the one down on the cushion behind the black is the one he'll perhaps the most difficulty with.
39.
There is to be a problem.
$46.
Sullivan knows there's a chance that he could go a frame behind again here.
47. $53. 54. Stuart Bingham,
I wanted
54.
the red after that black, but I didn't think the black was going to be the issue. And if you had to force an angle to get behind the red, my word, that could be costly.
O'Sullivan also fails along the rail, but the red has run safe. I think that illustrates that these corner pockets give nothing away.
Just thinking that from the different view we have going into the pocket, it looked quite close. There's a safety shot which will have to be quite a telling one, and maybe a gap Ronnie's looking at. There is a gap. Stuart's unlucky. Ooh, there's not much sticking out there. Wow. Well, I think Ronnie's still thinking about the previous ball that he missed. He's mighty close. I mean, it's one of those shots, if he plays a little swerve, the left-hand side, he might be able to swerve through the gap, but then off the cushion it would be coming away from the red. Well, he did play it with a touch of side. And I'll tell you what, that was a very good shot.
Yes, he's got it past the middle pocket. In behind the black. That was the intention. Not quite. And at first glimpse, it looked as if Bingham could reach the potting angle on this red.
If he's slightly distracted by something.
You know, isn't it?
Didn't really see anybody moving on the shot in particular. Behind the line, any spectators or anything. He's got away with that. It was always a risk he'd leave one there. Seemingly a very important point of the match now. No, it's still 5-all, the first to 10, but Stewart really has to win this frame from the chances he's had, especially the one with the black he missed a few shots ago.
Didn't catch it quite full enough from behind.
Well, he's got almost nailed on snooker, but he's already looking at the putting angle. Well, there you are. Now, I just think from here, you wouldn't really expect him to miss. Never touched the jaw. Just a question of getting on this green nicely. If he screws back directly, he's got to just get the pace spot on. About where the cue ball is now wouldn't be the worst place to finish.
7.
Simple drop in. Nothing else here, nothing flash. Could be a very telling frame, this, if Ronnie clears these as you'd expect him to do.
$14. $19.
Pink and black to go ahead, 6-5.
25.
Both players missed the last red along the black cushion. The duel developed, but it's O'Sullivan who takes the frame on the black to lead by 6 frames to 5.
The 12th frame in this Champion of Champions final is a tense affair, with neither player willing or able to take advantage. Bingham's early run stopped by a black. O'Sullivan on the pink suffering a similar fate. Bingham now back at the table.
1.
So Bingham came to the table with the position that O'Sullivan would have had. Easy red. Black to open the bunch. Pocket is covered for what might be described as an easy red. It's alternative. Still potable, but more difficult in position, more difficult to control.
It was difficult, but he's played it pretty well.
16. $17.
Bingham can clinch the frame without the assistance of the red near the right-hand side cushion.
$24. $25.
Looked as if O'Sullivan was moving into a threatening position to win another frame
32.
and take a 2-frame lead until he missed that pink to middle.
33.
He's missed a couple of these, but this one, slightly different shot in the way that he's playing it onto that bottom red. So red and black. Then O'Sullivan wants a snooker at best, finding the break ends at that point. Seeing a few little things that are distracting him.
41.
Sometimes a sign that a player's concentration is not as good as it could be.
$48.
Well, that sounded like a kick.
Stuart Bingham, 48.
Well, it went off horribly thick in contact, didn't it? And that really was the one that wins the frame. Some kicks are straight in the angle. Yeah, that was a dreadful contact. We haven't had all that many of them, but that was one. Ronnie not going for that shot. He's intent on finding a way of getting a snooker, which is not impossible where the balls are.
Whereas if Bingham hadn't had that kick and had potted that red, he would have put O'Sullivan conclusively out of the frame.
Slight heart flutter there, if that cue ball was edging towards that middle pocket. And Ronnie can take his red and his black and get that out of the way.
1.
Means one snooker to tie on the yellow. He could take things further down to the blue when the snooker would be enough to win the frame, a 5-point penalty. I don't think he will. Depends if he fancies the snooker in behind the pink, but as we saw this afternoon, the level these guys play out, the snooker has to be pretty deadly.
10.
Otherwise, the other guy hits it.
Snooker from brown behind the blue, coming up shortly.
13.
Quite a big shield, those two balls, to try and land in behind. It's not one of Ronnie's best. Very surprising shot.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 13.
Well, it was short range as well. I'm surprised he made such a mess of that.
I think this is still a very dangerous point in the frame for Stewart. One snooker to tie. Frame could be over by now, but it's not. Got a snooker. Up and down, perhaps. Bottom cushion and up. Doesn't want to flick any side on this, because that's probably the only way he could miss it if he didn't hit the middle.
And off in the middle.
I think slightly thicker contact, Clive. That would have happened. Twitchy moments in a frame that he really does need to win. So,
4.
you know the plan now, and I tell you, he should get in behind this pink. Now the snooker will be enough to win the frame, and that is a very good one. Now then, framers might would take a very different complexion here if he misses this, and to the short two cushion escape first of all. It's his missable. Now these guys are tremendous out of snookers now. That was not a nice shot to be left with. A good effort, but I think he was right about the double kiss as well. One thing you know that Bingham won't be doing here is letting the cue ball run around the table for any kind of an in-off that could be avoided.
That's why he hit the blue virtually full in the face. As soon as you go thin and leave speed on the cue ball, it can end up in a pocket.
They can afford to go for this with no fear of any kind of an in-off. Cue ball coming up and down the spots, down the middle of the table.
The turning point of this frame was when O'Sullivan missed pink to middle. Bingham made 48 from that.
Stuart Bingham 5 and the frame.
And after a few exchanges, has levelled the match at 6-all.
Welcome back to the final of the Champion of Champions tournament. All level after 12 frames. This is the 13th, and it's finally balanced. Stuart Bingham was the first to break the deadlock, but poor positional play stopped him dead in his tracks. O'Sullivan eventually got his chance, but failed to capitalise on it. In what was turning out to be a stop-start sort of frame, Bingham again failed to make the most of an opening with yet another poor positional shot. Just a point between these two as we return to the action.
Well, that was more straightforward. Didn't have to think much about that. Just a straight red, good cueing shot, and he cued it well.
Six.
Extra length on the cue for this shot.
Seven.
The first ball that Bingham has missed with the rest all day.
I think that the red above the black does pot, looking at the camera angle we saw, but he's got no angle to get on it from here unless he pile drives us in round the angles. So he's not gone much further than if he'd have just rolled it in. He's annoyed, Ronnie.
Six.
Sensed that. Made better of that shot. The first red was too short in pace.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, six.
Could hardly avoid nudging a red into a possible position there.
One.
Once again, no angle at all to get down for a red. Pink is either straight or the wrong side of straight, so he's got no chance from that. Oh, I would have, to be honest,
Ronnie
10 different
O'Sullivan, one.
shots. I wouldn't have even considered that one, playing the black of all the balls to play, but I guess he wanted to disturb the three reds. Wasn't played all that well.
Well, I thought for sure he'd take the 6 extra points with the pink, and if he couldn't do anything else, and then play the thin safety.
Yep. Maybe just go down towards the brown and keep distance anyway. That is a much better shot, and it's covered the red that was out in the open. Don't know whether he can get to the other two either. He will place ideally in behind the yellow to stop anything. love to get to the red down by the black if he could. The left-hand middle pocket's just in the way. The natural one cushion angle on that one.
Among the big winners this week is the Ricoh Arena, Coventry, which has proved an extremely popular venue.
Nice shot, very nice, worth the wait.
This frame, already in progress 22 minutes, has been a thing of bits and pieces, but it counts the same as all the others. This is one of those frames where several shots have required a lot of thinking out. Well, that was an attempted pot. So a chance for Bingham to make a decisive contribution in this frame.
Eight.
Two more red blacks, putting 25 in front. And that would make the yellow frame ball.
Yeah, same applies to the pink, doesn't it? And
17.
play that, and as you say, won't need the green. The yellow to green would be almost impossible anyhow. They'll be dropping this in, I would think. I know he doesn't seem to appreciate playing shots very slowly, but I think his best chance is just playing this dead weight. No problem at all. Ronnie O'Sullivan is in a position where he needs a snooker.
Stuart Bingham, 25.
So unless O'Sullivan gets a successful snooker and pots all remaining colours, There'll be a frame behind. That green would have put O'Sullivan up to 2 snookers needed. Well, I'm not sure that he attempted to putt that.
No, I don't think he did. I think he tried to get in behind the black. It's going to be difficult to get one from here, though. Trying to swing this around the table, I think. It's a
Ronnie
very
O'Sullivan.
difficult shot. At the moment, I think Sullivan is thinking about his 15-minute break and getting his concentration back. Because at the moment, he's not quite there.
So Bingham misses another chance to put the frame beyond rescue.
Yeah, and he can't afford to take too many liberties because he'll find himself in snookers like that one. An awkward one this, because I don't think it's a natural up and down. You have to use a bit of right-hand side, and being underneath the cushion, that makes that shot awkward. Seen how good these guys are at hitting snookers. This one, round is far enough in towards the middle of the table. Suggest he could slip past this. He has missed one.
Foul.
He set out to be a good
Ronnie
one, and it was a
O'Sullivan,
pretty good one. So, big moments. Sullivan can now win.
Tried to keep the pressure on with another snooker.
Yeah, the way he played it, there's always the opportunity, if the snooker wasn't got, that Bingham would have something to go at. Now, I'm not saying this is easy. He may try to pop this. Didn't play it, he played it thin. Trying to get a snooker of his own.
Foul. Stuart Bingham,
Wow.
7.
And with that, that's a huge relief to Stuart Bingham.
Must have fouled the black on his follow through.
Didn't move very far, but it just wavered.
Just flicked it. And the referee, Brendan Moore, was alert. I'm sure O'Sullivan would have declared it anyway. My eyesight's not going that badly. It's poor Collier, of course.
Stuart Bingham, 4 and the frame.
O'Sullivan nodded, and so they walk off for the mid-session interval, with Bingham leading by frame clinching chance.
One. Yeah, sure.
The blue would be enough to leave Bingham needing a snooker.
Six.
And that red,
Seven.
followed by a certain pink, should be assumed, guarantees that there will be no
13.
further resistance from Bingham.
14.
O'Sullivan went into the lead with a break of 62.
20. 21.
And he shut Bingham out thereafter. Preventing Bingham from potting a ball in this frame.
27. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 27 and a frame.
O'Sullivan levels at 7-all.
Green and brown, quite a nice little target to get in behind where they're placed. It's slightly come the wrong side. He caught that much too thick.
Foul.
It's even worse.
Stuart
Going
Bingham
in off,
full.
he had a chance if it stayed in the jaws, making the next red awkward. This could be seeing that again. He might have hit the wrong ball on the way through.
One.
Good shot to drag it in and hold for the black. Bingham first with a half-decent opportunity. You can feel a little bit of tension in the air. Spectators thoroughly enjoying this battle.
8.
Been a really nice atmosphere in the Ricoh Arena the whole week.
Nine.
But, as we got down to the closing stages, you could really hear a pin drop in here.
$16. 17. 24.
Like to have been a lot straighter on the red to the left corner than he is. You can't avoid going into other reds. The time when he really didn't need to break the pack open at all. He's a little bit concerned about how the cue ball will react. Doesn't want to get stuck in there. No shot of afterwards. he mustn't forget the pot on this if he's worried about the cue ball, because that's even worse than not being on one next.
$25.
Has lost position, which is what he was fearing. Still has a slight angle on the brown, but he was certainly hoping to leave something easier.
It's a very difficult shot that he's attempting if he plays it. Why he's not playing it. Oh, that was a beautiful touch.
Bingham,
It's
25.
not an easy shot, made to look simple. When you play to swerve out of a snooker,
Miss.
it's always so difficult to
Bingham
judge
4.
the pace of it. As you saw, he was well short for that reason.
The cue ball does gather pace off the cushion because of the right of centre running side, but it's a difficult shot to gauge precisely. And it's not as if he's going into a tight pack either.
Well, the question is, has he left the red to the right middle? And Ronnie went round to have a look himself. So he must have been anxious. No, he's not left it. And he's got away with that one.
Sullivan has played with enormous determination and resolve this week. And having won 2 dramatic 6-5s, he's giving the final his all. 4 hours play so far in this final. Bingham thought that screwing over to the side cushion would have the maximum chance of leaving O'Sullivan something difficult if he missed. But that didn't prove to be the case. Far from it. O'Sullivan's in round the black.
$8.
Sullivan's having a quiet little smile there. He may have played a cannon. To leave a different red, but whether he did or not, it's okay.
14. $15. 21. 22.
Even if it does spot, it doesn't stop Ronnie getting to the red.
28. 29. 36.
Red in the middle seems that offers guaranteed position, but Ronnie will find a way here. Got to play a cannon. That's worked out okay.
37.
More than okay. Whatever happens, the red up the table
43.
is going to be needed. There you can see by the green, which of course pots into the yellow pocket.
44.
That'll come a little later on, but as I say, it's important as to when you're making the frame safe.
$50. 51.
Well, you'd have thought any decent angle on the blue would allow perfect position on that
57.
final red.
58.
So this is the key shot.
$63. 64.
And the lead is going to change again here.
69.
Real topsy-turvy match. No players built up
71.
a very large run of frames at any point.
$74. 78.
This frame winner played with great assurance, great control.
83. $89.
Bingham led 34-0. But O'Sullivan clears up with 96 to regain the lead at 8-7.
Welcome back to Coventry for the Champion of Champions tournament. It's O'Sullivan against Bingham, and it's been neck and neck throughout the opening 14 frames. O'Sullivan edged ahead by taking the 15th, and is at the table in the 16th.
From a touching ball, Bingham perhaps shouldn't have let O'Sullivan that red.
No, still well played though. Beautiful long pot from, and right inside that top right-hand pocket. Moment, the difference between the players is not their long game in particular, and other aspects, but so far Ronnie's break building has been superior. We know that Stewart knocked in a couple of centuries this afternoon, but just generally he's very good in the balls, Bingham, but Ronnie is absolutely deadly at times. That seems to be the only discernible difference today.
$14. 15.
Well, he's got a spring in his step, so we know that he can get round and pot this next one. And again, in that playing that last shot, developing 2 or 3 more reds into open play.
He really is an artist.
30.
The way he opens the bunch.
31.
Nudging 2 or 3 out. Then maybe a little later, a couple more.
Oh, it's once played a shot as well as previously. There were 2 reds that popped to that left corner, and he went too far. He's still on the thin one, cutting it back. It's for once a bad shot, and gives his head a little bit of a bang on the slate. Frustration in a big way.
Well, I'm pretty sure Ronnie's head would give away before the table.
1.
Be important because, like everyone else, assuming that Ronnie would go on and score plenty there, it seemed to be set up for him, or he'd set it up for the big break.
$8. 9. 16.
Still has red to middle, but he would have preferred something easier. Not only the pot itself, but keeping prime position. The reason that he hasn't got anything better is that he was too straight on the black, just off straight the wrong side. Well rescued.
17.
Couldn't have been hit any better, that shot.
$24. 25.
O'Sullivan lost position on 38 when he seemed to be going well.
Certainly a big moment though for Stuart Bingham, isn't it, from here on in this frame, to avoid going 9-7 down, keeping Ronnie thinking about that error.
$31.
Pretty sure that the third red down next to the pink will pop. When it does pot it, want to disturb the other two, so it'd be like to be lower than he is now. Oh,
39.
not good. Overscrewed that, tried to come level with the black. Set him back a little bit, that shot, I think. That's a horrible angle. Just the wrong side of straight. I think he believes he got a big bounce off the cushion, which is not something we've seen all that much this
46.
week. Let's see if he's right. Appeared to accelerate there. This means that he does take that red on. It's very, very awkward. I think it's time to slip in the discreet safety shot if he doesn't fancy this. He's got it. Ah, what a recovery that is. Perfectly on the blue as well. Very good.
Only 3 balls in the cluster. So there was a very high probability of leaving
52.
a possible red.
Certainly recovered the situation beautifully. Ronnie's still thinking about the ball he missed. It's
53.
been a really good break from Bingham. Not always been straightforward.
$60. $61.
Came to the table, 38 behind. Needed to produce, and has. It's going to be 8-all.
66. Stuart Bingham, 66. And the frame.
Yes, that's enough. It's 8-all, level with 3 to play.
Frame 17. Stuart Bingham to break.
In 8 attempts, Bingham has beaten O'Sullivan only once, and on that occasion, to be candid, O'Sullivan's heart wasn't in it and his mind wasn't on it. as O'Sullivan attempts that long red with some safety in mind. I think that if Bingham does get into a winning position, he won't feel any inhibition about clinching it just because O'Sullivan is his opponent. I think his mental landscape has changed sufficiently in the last 2 or 3 years for me to say that.
He was hoping he'd leave nothing, but pretty certain that the top red above the black there will pot. Getting onto a colour, not easy. Oh dear.
One.
He won't mind that result. He doesn't want that one back for another try. Don't get me wrong, it was a nice pot. Those can be missed, but look at the reds now.
The only thing that's not perfect is that I don't think
Six.
black will go. And probably not the pink either.
7.
But that could change because O'Sullivan is the best developer in the business.
Well, it looks like he believes that the red
12.
next to it can go, and as you say, black is now available all right. That was perfectly judged. I can think of other
13.
players that would have tried to accumulate a few reds and blues before getting into the nitty-gritty of things. Not Ronnie. Didn't play the game that way. Now on the table looks like a whole different story.
20.
Nothing is safe.
21. $26. 27. 34. 35.
'Slightly under hit.
42.
Yeah, good line on the shot to get through the gap between that red and the side of the pack. Handy that the green's a Western spot though, Clive, because
43.
you're unlucky not to be on that. It is quite thin. Well, the red that's bouncing up the table gives him something to go at.
46.
Pretty grim for a while.
Touching ball.
Touching one, so awkward queuing, despite being left-handed on this shot itself.
Wow. That was asking
Ronnie
a lot.
O'Sullivan,
It
46.
was, Clive, and his bridge hand was kind of moving there. It was wavering, I thought. Wasn't very steady hand. Not surprised playing left-handed.
Well, left-handed over a ball. Wow. Would have been some shot if he'd got it.
One.
As it is, it's given Bingham a chance for a counter punch.
It's going to be difficult though for him. 4 red's awkward and black now tied up as well. Pink not going in many pockets, so the table isn't quite as fighting as when O'Sullivan was there a few shots back. So that 46-7 lead of O'Sullivan's still be very significant, I think. He's looked to see if the pink will pot. If it does, the angle is perfect to move some of the reds. I think that will go. I think that will just go in. Always the danger, it's half a pocket, and even if he gets very close, he just could flick the red away, but I suspect that that will pass certainly into the right of the pocket as we look. Oh, can you believe it? He actually hit the red on the way through. I'm sure he did.
$14.
He's bang out of position.
Well, I'm sure, yeah, he hit the red on the way. You couldn't recreate that shot if you wanted to.
Yes, the pink hit the red. Attempted the long pot to
Stuart Bingham, 14.
try to keep the break going, but he's still 32 behind as he returns to his seat.
Found his potting boots there, O'Sullivan. Been saying all day. I heard Alan earlier this afternoon saying that it's not been necessarily a going day for the O'Sullivan long game, but that was one that very gratefully received from him. Would have taken a good shot to break those reds up from that one cushion. But again, O'Sullivan with a good lead. 39 points. Enough points on. Oh, the red coming back's always a dangerous thing to happen. It was a shot to nothing other than that.
7.
Yep, that was the only way it could go wrong. The doubled red coming back at an acute angle from the jaw. A rueful smile.
I think O'Sullivan is feeling it.
1.
Because it would be a surprise if he wasn't, but we think he's capable of everything, and the fact is he looks under a little bit of pressure now. He's got in a couple of frames in a row and made as many as in previous visits to the table in earlier frames.
3. Four. Nine.
Very big part of the match. The first man to 9. Have an eye on the trophy. Big frame.
15.
More length on the cue so that he can complete his follow through. That's only the second shot that he's missed with the rest
Stuart
all
Bingham,
day.
15.
Oh, lovely cueing. Very nice.
1.
Look at this. Under this sort of tension, always missable, and it's not necessarily an O'Sullivan favourite shot, I don't think.
But his technique has held up under pressure.
It's not something you hear people speak about, the O'Sullivan technique. Nothing ever seems to be wrong with it, but other players look to be striving to cue straighter, but Ronnie's always had that such natural gift
7.
of getting through the ball.
8.
Nothing heroic about that shot. Looking at the scores, knowing that the lead is 32 points. So, every chance that Ronnie will be 9-8 up.
Ten. 12. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 12, and the frame.
That's enough to give O'Sullivan a 9-8 lead. 1 up with 2 to play.
The 18th frame. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
Nine eight up. O'Sullivan wants to make this the last frame. Bingham wants to make it the last but one.
Now, has he gone far enough to stop Ronnie from going for this red back into the pack? No. Dangerous shot from Bingham, that one. Pretty good. Absolutely right behind the black, but it's cuttable, and he could hold it for the next red.
Eight.
Again,
9.
into the bunch and out. Check side off the cushion.
Yes, right hand side, Clive. Otherwise that would have been in the middle of the table again, that cue ball. That was planned.
16. $17.
Quite.
24.
Came across a bit more to the right than he meant to. Wished to play on the red below the cue ball now. Playing that red still, he'll be playing all kinds of things put on his cue. So he's taking this one on. Interesting way to play it down onto the black, but this cutback has got to be given plenty of care and attention. No problem there. What a chance for the match.
32.
Only 4 reds have gone, but already Bingham is wondering whether he's going to get another shot.
In his mind, he's kind of made up to stay on the black with the pink completely out of the game at the other end of the table. That was a kick.
33.
It was definitely a kick. Took all the speed out of the ball.
That's what they're playing for. But the kick
Ronnie O'Sullivan
was instrumental
33.
in ending what could well have been a frame and match-winning break from O'Sullivan. Left him an awkward cutback.
Yeah, he's absolutely losing the plot over it there in his mind. He's muttering to himself. He can't believe that he missed that ball. Able to lip read. Not to know what he's saying and thinking.
Comfort was, though, that he didn't leave Bingham anything. But O'Sullivan won't be congratulating himself on that bit of luck. He was very unfortunate to get the kick when it was starting to look as if frame and match was coming up.
Yeah, he looked at it and it wasn't absolutely in line, but and it's a good job it went in, put it that way, because he's not on a colour, but he would have left a red or two. We're getting a very tight safety if he can.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 1.
And he's applied some pressure there. Stuart might have a little go at the red up the table. The one down to the left of the black spot. It might be a shot to nothing. Unlucky. Very unlucky. Clive, that could be it now.
Well, it could, but the reason that he cannoned second ball was that he was on the thin side.
Be the problem with those shots, I guess. If a shot to nothing, if the ball goes in the angle, if you miss them, it usually throws it to a different way. He's played ever so well, but I'm wondering if he's played his last shot.
Six.
Sullivan's not been at his best in the last 2 or 3 frames. He's got in and scored, but not as many as usual. It still could be that this standard is good enough.
Ten. 11. Okay. 16.
Yes, they're on its own spot. O'Sullivan can reach the winning line with reds and blues.
70.
Yeah, the black being safe is a comfort to him, I would think, as well, because
22.
should anything go wrong, that seems unlikely, that clearance isn't really on. And Sullivan bearing down
23.
on winning this tremendous tournament we've enjoyed all week.
They know who's won. Ronnie O'Sullivan has
29.
been the outstanding player of the 21st century. All his 5 world titles have come since the millennium.
34. 35.
He's also won 4 UKs, 4 Masters, 25 ranking titles in all.
Well, certainly Clive to be crowned champion of champions is very fitting for this wonderful snooker player.
$43. $49.
Ronnie O'Sullivan is an outstanding champion, and now he is the champion of champions. He has beaten Stuart Bingham by 10 frames to 8 to secure the £100,000 first prize. Bingham, who has played a full part in this excellent final, takes 50,000 as runner-up.
Thank you very much. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it really is the moment we've all been waiting for. The magnificent trophy, but most important of all, the title of 888 Casino Champion of Champions 2013, the Rocket, Ronnie O'Sullivan!
Ronnie O'Sullivan collects the sport's latest trophy and the winner's cheque for £100,000 in the 888 Casino.